As you read through the book, you'll find there are lots of different topics covered and lots of different ideas. Whilst it's tricky to try and encompass all these different training methods into a single plan, there are some themes that arise regularly throughout the book, and these are the pillars of the program. One of these pillars is the mind-muscle connection, developing greater control over muscle fiber recruitment and more precise and fine control over your limbs and fingers so that you can move more freely and in a less constricted manner. To achieve this, we'll not only be using brain training in order to rehearse activities mentally, but we'll also be using exercises designed to move our limbs independently and to even encourage greater proprioception. We'll be using muscle control techniques from old-time bodybuilders, and we'll be using exercises that force us to move in ways against resistance that many of us haven't done for years. One of the other themes, of course, is overcoming the adaptation to our modern living. The whole concept of SuperFunctional training refers to the fact that most people are functional. They're not maladaptive. They're simply adapted to their current lifestyle, which happens to involve a lot of sitting. Kyphosis and having tight hamstrings, that's not maladaptive. That's perfect for sitting for long periods, but we want to be more than functional. We want to be super functional, and to that end we need to train with a far more diverse and greater range of different types of movement. As we would have done in the wild, we need to become less domesticated, and so that's one of the reasons we're using lots of different styles of training all in one program, because our aim is to be not adapted, to be able to adapt quickly. And this is also how we're training our brain. We're keeping it as plastic and adaptable as possible, because essentially intelligence is adaptability combined with opportunity in training. So the more adaptable your brain is and the more training it receives, the greater you'll become at whatever it is you're trying to develop. So we want to keep the brain plastic, and again we do that by subjecting it to as many new things as possible. Fortunately, we'll be doing that not only through our specific brain training, but also through the training program itself. With so many different things to try and encompass, there are two key ways that I'm trying to fit all of this into one program. One is through bang for your buck exercises. These are exercises and training methods that do more than one thing, and that includes things like rope climbing, all the way through to juggling, or doing a very slow quasi-isometric squat with your eyes closed, or Spider-Man crawls with your eyes closed. This kind of thing helps us develop all kinds of different aspects of our physical and mental performance, and so is much more powerful and useful when we're trying to write a program that does lots of things. One of the other key ways we're achieving this is through incidental training, which means training throughout your day, making lots of different activities training both for your body and for your mind. If you're going to squat down, do it properly with your heels on the floor and improve flexibility at the same time. And if you're going to do a boring task, try focusing on doing it better, and that way you'll develop greater brain plasticity as well as becoming better at that thing. And finally, rest and recovery is extremely important, because training of any sort is biphasic, and if you keep pushing yourself hard, and especially this hard, and you don't give yourself the time to recover, then you're going to regret it later on. So that's how we're getting all of this stuff into a single program, and those are the key ideas that we're focusing on. But it goes a lot deeper than that. I talk about embodied cognition and how this relates to things like the mind-muscle connection, and how it might even explain some of the amazing abilities of Shaolin monks. So if that sounds interesting, then again, I do recommend you read the whole book, and I'd love to know your feedback, so please let me know. So that's all for this guide, and I hope you found it useful, and best of luck with the training program. Like I say, do get in touch if you have any feedback. I'd love to hear what you think about the book, and also if you have any further questions. Thanks a ton for supporting the SuperFunctional program and the Bioneer in general, and stay tuned to the channel for all the usual stuff. Thanks a ton, and